Jeremy Vine's discussion show saw a furious row erupt after a rant by Mike Parry over Boris Johnson was interrupted by a giggling Femi r0w. Jeremy Vine guest Mike Parry erupted at fellow panelist Femi r0w after the anti-Brexit campaigner was caught giggling while he spoke about the direction of the Conservative Party. Mr. Parry had been calling for Boris Johnson to return to Tory-like policies after the PM survived his no-confidence vote on Monday evening when he confronted Femi in a fiery slapdown. Mr. Parry told Jeremy Vine, "If anybody can survive it's Boris Johnson." Okay, I was talking to a few political analysts earlier this morning and they pointed out that Theresa May was finished, John Major was finished, but they're not Boris Johnson. Boris Johnson is a unique politician. He's wriggled out of really difficult situations before, and if anybody can, he can. What I want him to do, I voted Tory, I voted for Boris Johnson, come out with a raft of Tory-like policies, doesn't matter who you support in this country, whoever you vote for, you want them to endorse the policies in the manifesto, and the Tories have gone completely the other way. Very high taxes, expanding the welfare state and big government instead of small government, and not fulfilling the advantages of Brexit. Mr. r0w broke into a giggle at the mention of Brexit, which provoked a verbal slapdown from his co-panelist. Mr. Parry snapped, "I don't know what you keep giggling, Femi, when I am trying to make a point." The Prime Minister has promised to cut taxes and drive down the cost of government after a wounding revolt by Tory MPs put his long-term future in doubt. Mr. Johnson thanked cabinet colleagues for their efforts to support him during the confidence vote process, which saw more than 4 in 10 Tory MPs say they had lost faith in his leadership. In an attempt to address criticism of his economic policies, Mr. Johnson said the fundamental Conservative instinct was to allow people to decide how to spend their money, urging cabinet ministers to cut costs. He said delivering tax cuts would help deliver considerable growth in employment and economic progress. Despite Mr. Johnson's attempts to draw a line under questions about his leadership, critics warned that the political crisis was not over after 41% of his MPs said they no longer had confidence in him. Tory MPs voted by 211 to 148 in support of the Prime Minister, but the scale of the opposition was greater than that seen in 2018 when Theresa May faced a confidence vote. She was ultimately forced out within months. Opening a cabinet meeting in Downing Street, Mr. Johnson said, "We are able now to draw a line under the issues that our opponents want to talk about." That included focusing on his levelling up agenda to address regional inequality, measures to help deal with the rising cost of living, and improvements to public services.